How y'all doing? For this book review, this is the third book of a series of books from an Egyptian, ancient Egyptian kick I've been having lately. There's a few books on my shelves on ancient Egypt there. I've read one on mythology, one on basic Egyptian history by a very well-written writer, and now I'm reading a piece of fiction set in ancient Egypt. That is the Horus killings by P.C. Doherty. This is book 2 out of 7 that he's done. The author, P.C. Doherty, has done a whole slew of novels here throughout the years. This is book 2 out of 7, the first one being The Mask of Ra, back in 98. Horus Killings been 99, that's what we're going to review here, along with the Anubis Slayings in 2000s, the Slayers of Seth in 2001, and the Assassin of Isis, the Poisoners of Ptah, and the Spies of Sobek from 2004, 2007, and 2008, respectively. Just hurry that through. So, usually I would like to read the first book here, but this one, this was not chosen by me. This is chosen by friends of mine. I did something for them while I was living in another town a long time ago. I mailed it to them, and they decided to pay me back, and the payment came in this book as well. So, that's how I got this in my library. And you don't need to read the first book. Like mysteries like these are self-contained. The main character is Amerotke. He is a judge of the Temple of Two Truths. Now, at this time, he is under the Queen Hattusu, also known as Hatshepsut, depending on which way you want to pronounce it. But the story here puts it as Queen Hattusu. And this is a very controversial figure. Hattusu is a real queen in Egypt, but so this is historical fiction. And what's interesting about her is she is the first Egyptian queen, where traditionally it was men. And that kind of relates to the events that's happening here. A series of murders that's happening involving some scribes and scholars, and then a few people surrounding it who might know the truth. And Amerotke, who's now not only investigating what's going on with these murders, he's right at the beginning, he's had an assassination attempt by a guy claiming to be a group of assassins. And also the fact that he's now trying to solve a mystery between a woman who has just remarried to a man, and her husband came back from a war. He is presumed dead, claiming his right to her, but is he doing it to just claim his wife, or the inheritance that she has? So that's sort of a B plot of the events. The main A plot is a series of murders, involving these scribes. First started as scribes, and then later expands to others as Amerotke, tries to solve this mystery. And are there anything to do with the fact of the queen? Maybe, because there's she's having all the scribes and scholars look into the histories and see if there's a justification for a woman to be queen of Egypt, as Pharaoh, which traditionally done as a man. Traditionally, it's held by a man, and it's apparently those who might have found something end up getting killed off. And Amerotke, trying to solve this mystery, he becomes a target as well. Who's doing this? Is it any of the high priests as well, under names of Egyptian gods? Him and a couple of companions there. He has a relative who's also a scribe. One of the one of the main soldiers in the army helps him out, and he also has a dwarf investigator who's streetwise and everything. So they go around trying to investigate where these murders are, what connections may they have to this one labyrinth outside of Egypt, that people keep disappearing on. So a lot of things are happening. This is a very, very quick read. It's only 270 some odd 270 some odd pages. Patience. But either way, it reads pretty fast. I mean, it's not going to be a phone book where you get elaborate details of everything. It's not like reading Umberto Eco's A Name of a Rose, which is one of the books I want to read one of these days. But I digress. But I am, for something that friends of mine have picked for me, I actually enjoyed it. A murder mystery set in ancient Egypt here. Now, some of the terminologies used to describe things can be a bit anachronistic, like describing parts of the army as a corps or things like that. I think the author just did that so you, as a modern reader, will understand in context what that is in ancient Egyptian without using the any words they might have in equivalents, so you could catch up relatively on that. So don't worry about that. That's kind of like complaining about everyone speaks English in a movie that takes place in cultures that don't speak English. It's meant for your convenience, so you don't have to do an extra effort they're trying to understand about this. Not everyone wants to read in subtitles. But either way, besides that, Amerotke is a very interesting sleuth. And if I probably find the first and the third one, probably other books in the series, I'll probably give that a try. I slowly over the last few years, but get a mystery every once in a while, and I'm enjoying it. Not that I've read enough to know which is the good mysteries or bad. I'm sure a lot of you can make some excellent suggestions here. But hey, again, I'm digressing again. The Horus Killings by P.C. Doherty. If you want a mystery that takes place in ancient Egypt and all that, you can't go wrong with this. At least I have no complaints about it. Thank you all for watching. You have a nice day.